So we will start in a seated position, and then just for anyone who is working from our YouTube video later on at home, have a yoga block, some reasonable, sturdy little thing that you can, even a step stool would do the trick, something sturdy that you can step on, and potentially something you could place between your knees. If you need two tools, you might choose a step stool and a throw pillow, but you'll see when we get there. But for now, scoot your butt way back in your seat, get super comfy cozy, let your shoulders snuggle down, let your belly get soft and loose, let your thighs get nice and heavy. Before you get all the way settled in, just tune in down to your feet, maybe give your toes a little mush, a little wiggle, and then get a nice wide spread of your toes on the ground and let your feet soften. Taking one or two more moments here just to allow the breath to slow down a little bit, allow your body to settle in. And then maybe take a moment just to notice if there's any part of your body that took a little bit longer to get there, took a little bit longer to settle in. No right or wrong, and maybe everything came together all at once, but if there was any parts of your body that are calling out to you and requiring a little bit of attention, just take a moment to notice, make notes of those places. And then if you can, tune in and just notice the solidness of the floor beneath your feet, the solidness of the chair beneath your butt and behind your back. And maybe notice the spaciousness around the front and side of your body, especially if your chair doesn't have any arms. And then see if you can get that spatial awareness, just sort of reaching out into that space around you and then becoming aware of where the walls are around you. Where is the ceiling above you? And then just for a moment, tune in and notice the sounds in the room that you're working in. And then before we move away from this place of stillness, take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. With that intention set, keeping your eyes closed if you can, we're just going to tune our awareness down to our feet. So keeping this relaxed position of the body, back leaning into the chair and all that good stuff. We're just going to scrunch up the toes like you're trying to pick something up with the bottom of your feet. Just scrunch the toes up, feel the bottom of the foot curl up just a little bit, and then stretch the foot out, maybe even lift your toes and give them a little wiggle. And then we'll do that again. Scrunch the foot up. So scrunch up like you're trying to pick something up with the bottom of your foot. And then stretch the toes long and wide, let the foot stretch out, maybe give your toes a little wiggle. And then we'll do that one more time. Scrunch the toes up, feel that little bit of contraction in the muscles and the connective tissue at the bottom of the foot. And then stretch the foot out, maybe spread your toes, give them a little wiggle. And now we're going to just work into the toes. So as you inhale, let your toes lift and spread. And as you exhale, float your toes down to the ground. Inhale, let your toes lift and spread. Exhale to lower down. One more just like that. Inhale, lift your toes. Exhale to lower down. And now we're going to maybe slide the feet in just a little bit closer, like almost as if you're trying to pull your heels underneath your chair so that you just get a little accented bend in the knee. And then we're going to bring it into the ankle joint. So as you inhale, you're just going to lift your heels up, feeling that bit of movement in the ankles. And you might even notice a little gentle stretch through the front of the foot. And then exhale, float your heels back down. Inhale and lift your heels away from the ground. Exhale to lower down. And do that one more time. Inhale, lift your heels up. Exhale to lower down. And now step your feet so that they're back in line with your knees. And now lift your back away from your seat. So you're sitting up nice and tall. Hands are going to rest wherever feels the most comfortable. And then we're going to take the movement into the head and the neck. So as you inhale, gently lift your chin up to the sky. Exhale, tuck your chin down to your chest. And then if you liked working with the eyes or working with the gaze, as you inhale, eyes are going to lift. Let the chin follow. Exhale, eyes lower down and let the chin follow. Inhale, eyes lift, and let the chin follow. Exhale, eyes lower and let the chin follow. And do that one more time. Inhale, eyes lift, let the chin follow. Exhale, eyes lower, let the chin follow. And then bring your head to a neutral position, feet solid on the ground, nice tall position. And then eyes open or closed, just whatever feels more beneficial or just easier for you to navigate. I like eyes closed personally because it eliminates some of the distractions, but we're gonna start to just move our eyeballs in circles. So head is gonna stay in a stationary position and the eyes are gonna circle around. So you're gonna move your eyeballs, try to keep your head as stationary as you can. Drawing nice wide circles. If it helps to find it with the eyelids open, do it with the eyelids open. But if it feels better to do it with the eyelids closed, just do the version that works best for you. Take one more circle around and then take that direction, take those circles and go the other way. So eyelids open or closed. And you might find one side requires the eyelids to be open and one prefers them to be closed. That'll be totally up to you too. Head is trying to stay as stationary as it can and just moving out of the eye socket. Take one more circle around. And then eyes are going to stay in a neutral position. And this is another one where it might feel better to just keep your eyes closed so you can tune in and pay attention to sensation. So now we're going to take the tongue in the mouth and we're going to trace the tongue, the tip of the tongue around the teeth. So you're going to go around the top line of the teeth, down and around the bottom line of the teeth, but staying in front of the teeth. So that's the first course of action. Tongue to the front of the teeth, and we're just drawing around. And then if you went in one particular direction, maybe take that and just go the other way, still tracing the front of the teeth. If you reverse directions, take one more time through. And now it's keeping with that situation, but now we're going to trace the inside of the teeth. So to the back side of the teeth, trace around with the tip of your tongue. Working top and bottom. And then if you were going in one particular direction, maybe you take that and go in the other direction as well. Nice, take one more time through. And then release your tongue, let it just be kind of a soft and neutral palate in your mouth. And then we're just going to come back to those head nods for a moment, just to kind of loosen up anything that we may have come across there. So inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. Exhale, tuck your chin down to your chest. Inhale to lift your chin up. Exhale to tuck your chin down. One more just like that. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down, and we're going to move right into our cat-cows from here. So inhale, lift your chin, lift your chest, arch your back. Exhale, round your back, round your shoulders, tuck your chin to your chest, gaze is towards the belly button. Inhale as you lift your chin, look to the sky. Exhale to round your back and look toward your belly button. One more time here. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round, and now we're going to add on. So as you inhale, you're going to lift the chest and the chin. And as you exhale, you're going to pull one knee in toward your chest, a little rounding of the back. Inhale, release that foot down, lift your chest, lift your chin. Exhale, pick up the other knee, round your back. And then just take a few times here. Move with your breath's rhythm. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you round. Take one more time through or even yourself out, whichever works better. And then the next time your right knee comes up, can you just hold onto that right knee, holding it in towards the chest, relax your spine, relax your shoulders, take your knee, draw it in a couple of circles, go in one direction, let your hands do the work for you here. Nice, and then take that knee, draw it in circles, go the other way. Great, and now we're gonna switch our grip. So hold on to the back of the thigh, make a little basket weave so you get a pretty good handhold, and then just a light, gentle swing from the knee joint. So just foot comes forward and back, and then just kind of tune in, notice how your knees feel. Is there any crankiness going on, any clicking, anything going on? Just take a moment to notice. Make sure you're staying in a safe range of motion. Awesome. And then send the foot out with a nice generous bend in the knee. Let your arms help support this, and then just give a couple of good points and flex to the foot. Awesome. One more point and flex the foot. And then when you're ready, set that foot down and we're going to take it to the other side. So pick your leg up, take your knee, draw it in circles, go in one direction. Nice. Take your knee, draw it in circles, go the other way. Awesome. Switch your grip, grab hold of the back of the thigh, take a couple little kicks to the leg forward and back. Notice your knee here. One side might feel totally different than the other. So just make notes of anything that might be a variation going on in your body. And then when you feel ready, send that foot out with a nice generous bend in the knee and just point and flex the foot. Awesome. One more point and flex the foot. And then with both feet on the ground, we're going to draw some circles around the perimeter of our feet. So both feet going at the same time. We're circling around the outer edges of the feet. So let your knees move, let your ankles move, let your toes move in any way that works good for you. Beautiful. One more time around in this direction. And then take those circles and go the other way. Awesome. One more circle around in this direction. And then both feet nice and flat on the ground. We're going to move right into a seated twist. So right hand's going to find the outer edge of the left knee, left hand behind you, low side of the chair, tall side, totally up to you, just whatever works better. Find a nice rotation and then think about getting nice and tall. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. 2 more cycles of breath here, but can you tune in and notice the movement of breath in your rib cage? When you feel ready, unwind and take your twist over to the other side. So left hand's going to find the outside of the right knee, leverage into your twist, go just as far as feels good to you. But then once you're there, get nice and tall and then tune into the rib cage and see if you can feel your breath there. One more breath. And then when you're ready, unwind, come back to center into your seated mountain pose. So feet nice and firm on the ground, arms out at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold, lift the heart, dive your heart forward. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, pull the abdominal muscles in, roll on up, find your seated mountain pose again, roll your shoulders down and back. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold, hands glide up to the shins. Exhale to soften down, right hand over to the left shin, left hand reaches up for a gentle twist, and then right away, bring it down. Slide up the shin, bring your knee up to your chest, bring your nose to your knee, a little rounding through the back of the body. And then release right back to your mountain pose, feet on the ground. Nice. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left hand over to the right shin, right hand reaches up, barely get there, and then right away, release that hand down, slide up the shin, draw the knee up to the chest, nose to knee. Release that foot to the ground, come back to your mountain pose. Pause just for a moment, feel your feet connected to the floor, and then without moving anything else in your body, notice where your block is on the ground. If you can easily pick the block up without getting anything out of position, go ahead and grab it. But if you need to get back into position, find your block. And now we're going to take our block and we're going to start to pass side to side. So you're going to touch your block down to the ground, a little side bend, but keep your butt heavy in the chair. Pass it up and overhead in any way that works good for you, over to the ground and just touch down. So we're bringing a light side bend, a little work into the shoulders, but what we're focusing on here is, can you keep your butt and your legs as solid in your chair as possible? So most of this movement is coming from the top half of the body. You might notice a slight exchange from one side of your bum to the other. So there's just that little bit of transfer of weight, but how solid can you keep your feet? Can you almost make it so there's almost not even a transfer of weight into your butt as well? And no right or wrong, it's just a way of paying attention to things. Nice. Now, the next time that block touches down to the left side, keep that block on the tall setting if you can. Lean your hand into it just a little bit. Reach your free hand up alongside your ear. Get that nice big side bend. But what you're shooting for is to reach your sit bone down into the chair as you reach up through the fingertips. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Release your hand first, reach out through the fingertips, and then pull yourself back up. Pass the block overhead. Take that block down to the ground, tall setting of your block. Lean in just a little bit, find that good position, and then anchor your sits bones into your chair. Top hand reaches up, so we get that big side bend here. Beautiful. One more breath. Now take that top hand, reach it out to the side, almost as if you're reaching for something across the room, and let that pull you up. Nice. And now bring the block in between your knees, skinny setting, and we're going to push inward. So we're going to drive the knees in towards each other, like you're trying to crush the block with your knees. Hold that position, hold that pushing in position, close your eyes down, really squeeze on that block and see if you can hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab the block, release, soles of the feet together and into a little mini butterfly, just relaxing the inner thighs, create a little space in the hips, take a nice big breath. And then placing that block back between the legs so it's skinny setting, drive in, push the knees in towards each other, hold that pushing in sensation for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab the block, release, let your legs come into that butterfly position, take a nice big breath. Awesome, and we're going to do that one more time. Block between the knees, push the knees in towards each other, hold that pushing in sensation, hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab the block, let the knees drop out, take a nice big breath. And then holding onto the block. So now we're going to hold the block in the long position. Bring your legs back so feet are about hip width distance apart, feet nice and firm on the ground. Push into the block, push your palms into the block, push the block forward, push into the block, pull the block back towards your chest. Push into the block, push the block forward, push into the ends of the block, pull it back into your chest. One more time, push in and push out. Push into the block, pull it in. Awesome. And now we're going to push out, hold that outward position, but arms are still pushing in towards each other. Lower your block down towards your knees, push into the ends of the block, push into the ends of the block, and raise your arms up as high as feels comfortable to you. Push into the ends of the block, lower down to your knees. Awesome. Push in and rise up. One more just like that. Push in and lower down. Push in and rise up. And now holding that pushing in sensation, step your feet in, push into the block, nice and strong through the whole upper part of your body. Lean yourself forward. And can you push into your feet? Come all the way up to a standing position. Nice. And then release your arms. Woo, give your shoulders a little shimmy shake. We're going to come to the tall side of the chair just to do a little standing work. And then we'll come back down to a seat. So place your block on the ground, lowest setting and long ways so that your foot can have a nice place to step onto. Start by framing your feet around your block. So we're going to take a little tree pose, but we're going to use our block as a bit of support. So shift your weight over to your left foot. See if you can just pick your right foot up, externally rotate the knee, let your toes and the balls of the foot find the block, and then right away step it off. Transfer your weight onto your right foot, pick your left leg up, turn the knee out, let the toes and the balls of the foot find the block, and then step it off. Nice. Come back to the right. Step it up, turn it out. Step that foot off, back to the left foot onto the block, and step it off. Now, see if you can keep your gaze forward. You know what you're doing. Shift your weight over to your left foot, turn the right foot out, knee is externally rotated, toe and the ball of the foot are on the block. And now, can you release your hands from your chair, prayer hands to heart center, gaze forward. And then can you feel a light or lifting sensation coming out of that right knee or that bent leg? And see if you can almost barely having the ball of the foot and the toes barely touching the surface of the block. So leg is engaged, standing leg is engaged. Reach up just a little further through the crown of your head. Take one good breath. Awesome. And now we're going to take that right foot, internally rotate or straighten the leg out so the foot comes flat on the block. Feel the block underneath your foot. And then if you're feeling good and steady, hands free. But if it feels more beneficial, bring your hands to your chair. Step yourself up, get nice and tall. Step your foot down, maybe just lift the foot off to feel that connection and release. Step your foot onto the block, lift up. Step down, lift the foot off just to feel that release. One more time. Step the foot on and up. Step the foot down, release, and now step your right foot off, left foot onto the block. Find your tree pose here. Externally rotate the knee, toe and the ball of the foot are on the block, hands to heart center if you can hold it there. And then see if you can find that lifting off sensation. So barely letting the surface of your foot touch the block. Nice and strong, nice and steady, lifting upward through the crown of your head. Wonderful. And then internally rotate the knee or straighten the knee forward, step your foot onto the block, you know where it is, and then hands on the chair or hands to heart center, just whatever feels more stable to you. Press into the block, lift up, set your foot down, lift off just to feel that release. Step your foot onto the block and lift up. Step your foot down, lift off and release. You always have the chair if you need it. Hands to the chair, lift up, lower it down. Step both feet off, hands to the chair, walk it back to your downward facing dog. Walk your feet back, walk your butt back, find that nice upside down V shape. Let your chest drop down, let your forehead sink down. Take 3 nice big breaths here. When you're ready, soften your knees, gaze forward, walk yourself on up. You can move your block out of the way or put it away if you want to, but we are done with our block. So just scooch it out of the way and we're going to come back to our seat, but grab your TheraBand. As you come back to your seat, we're going to take the TheraBand and tuck it underneath the thighs and then just get a little crisscross situation. So we're going to crisscross our TheraBand. Using our hands, we're going to create a little bit of a resistance. So we're going to pull pretty tight on that TheraBand, and you might feel that your knees kind of get pulled in towards each other. Now step your knees out. Arms are going to create that resistance. So we're going to keep our knees in line with our hip bones. So we've got about 2 fists width of space between the knees, and that'll vary between bodies. So just make sure there's a little bit of space, inner thighs are engaged, and you're having to drive the knees out just a little bit to hold that in place. So TheraBand pulled nice and tight. Once you've got that going on, we're going to start a light little march. So hands are going to stay as stationary as they can. We're going to maintain that space between the knees. Find that light little march. Notice your hand grip is working here. Notice your shoulders, your arms are working pretty good here. Notice the outer edges of your thighs. And then if you're weaker in the top half of your body, you might be feeling more of the work happening in your upper body. So notice that. Keep your abdominal muscles slightly engaged so you're still keeping that nice tall lifted spine. Awesome. Now, the next time your left knee lifts, we're going to hold that position, a little flex in the foot, keep the foot flexed, keep everything else as strong as you can, and take a couple of bends and straightens of the knee. Yes, nice work. Set that foot down, switch to the other side. Keep that even distance between the knees. Keep that pulling apart sensation. Keep a little flex in the foot so we keep the leg engaged. Notice if one leg is a little bit harder than the other, or there's one more challenging than the other. One more bend and straighten, set it down, and then release all of that. And now we're going to catch hold of a foot. So we're going to take our TheraBand, and hopefully, especially if you've got a TheraBand and not one of those little tubular resistance bands, you get a little bit more spread with your TheraBand. So we're going to catch hold of the bottom of the foot, but see if you can get a good spread across the bottom of your foot, just so that we have a little bit of room to play with the foot strength. So keep a micro bend in the knee, or a generous bend in the knee. That'll be totally up to you. But now we want to get our toes spreading as wide as we can. And we're going to hold that spread of the toes. We're going to make a little Barbie foot. So think about pushing the ball of the foot forward. Keep the toes spread. Pull the ball of the foot back. Keep the toes spread. Push the ball of the foot forward. Keep your toes spread. Nice. Pull the toes back. Keep the toes spread. Keep the toes spread. Push the ball of the foot forward. Keep the toes spread, pull it back with control. So we're not going to let the TheraBand or the resistance band snap you back into shape. Everything is controlled. We get feedback going out and we get feedback coming in. One more time through. And then soften your toes just a little bit and then draw your toes in circles, go in one direction. Draw your toes in circles, go the other way. Woo, nice. And then when you're ready, release that foot and we're going to take it right to the other side. So we're going to catch hold of the bottom of the foot, get as much of a good wide spread of your TheraBand across the bottom of the foot that you can, a little bit of an extension of the leg, generous bend in the knee, spread your toes as wide as you can and make that Barbie foot. So we push the ball of the foot forward, keep the toes spread, pull the toes back. Keep the toes spread, push the ball of the foot forward, keep the toes spread, pull the toes back. Keep the toes spread, push the ball of the foot forward. Keep the toes spread, pull it back, working through the whole foot here. Spread the toes, push the ball of the foot forward. Spread the toes, pull it back. One more time through. Awesome. And then relax that spread of the toes and just draw your foot in circles. Go in one direction. Nice. And then draw your toes in circles, go the other way. Beautiful. When you're ready, release your foot from your strap, set your foot down, set your strap off to the side, and then just for a second, give everything a little wiggle. Wiggle your toes, scrunch up the bottoms of the feet, move the ankles, just let everything have a little bit of freedom. Notice how everything feels, especially that toe spread can really get into some little fine muscles down there, and there's lots of bones down there. So just make sure everything feels kind of wiggled out and flossed out, all feeling good. And then once you feel like your feet are feeling good, just scoot your butt back just a little bit so you feel really good and solid on the chair. And we're going to take it into a seated child's pose. So knees are going to be either together or slightly apart just to make space for the belly and the chest, whatever version works good for you. But we're going to lean the chest forward so you'll feel a light compression of the belly against the thighs. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, gently push into the knees, lift with a nice strong back. We're going to pick up the right leg. So grab the knee, grab the heel, externally rotate, and then rock the leg just a little bit side to side. Wonderful. And then we're going to bring it into our figure four shape. So we're going to try to bring the ankle so it's across the top of the thigh so that we're not sickling the foot. So we're not trying to put the foot onto the thigh, but bring it across so the ankle comes across the thigh. That's the most beneficial place for the foot. And then once you've got your leg in a good position, which also might look like this on a block, and keeping a nice firmness in the foot. So this might be a way to find that external rotation without compromising your foot. Once you've got yourself into a place that feels good, take a slight rotation. So rotate towards the knee, leverage against that knee just a little bit, take a nice big breath. Return back to center and take it into a fold. So lift your heart, keep that foot in a nice firm position so your knee feels good about all this work. Go just to a depth that feels good to you. So you might feel sensation into your glutes, the outer edge of your hip. If you're feeling a lot of shooting pain in your knee, maybe readjust your legs so that your knee feels happy. Take one more breath. Lift through the top of your head, come up nice and slow, gently help that leg come off. Set it down, swish your knees a little side to side, and then we're going to take that to the other side. So we're going to grab hold of that leg, pick up the knee, pick up the heel, externally rotate, rock it a little side to side. Awesome. And then find your figure four that works good for you. So that might be across the thigh. We want to make sure that the foot is free so it's not sickled, or that might mean across the block or across your ankle. Just make sure that your foot is in a good position. Once you're there, rotate towards that front knee, get a little twist, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Unwind and then take it into your fold. Lean your heart forward just as far as feels good to you. When you're ready, lift up through the top of your head, let your heart follow, gently help that leg come off, toe heel your feet out to a nice wide configuration. And then we're going to think knees active. So we want to find that active position where the knees are drawing back just a little bit, inner thighs are nice and engaged. Lean your chest forward just a little bit. See how that feels. You might be there, that might be enough. If it feels great and you want more, hands are going to find the ground. So we come into that wide leg fold position. Once you're in a position that feels good to you, if it feels nice and you want to add a little bit of twist, left hand is going to come underneath the nose, right hand's going to reach up towards the sky. Beautiful. Release that hand down, switch to the other side. Right hand underneath your nose, left hand reaches to the sky. Awesome. Release that hand nice and slow. Walk yourself back up and in. Help those legs come back together. And then take one cat cow here just to soothe the spine. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale, round your back. Inhale to a neutral spine and then start to scoot your butt back in your chair. So you find the back of the seat. Give a second, let everything kind of snuggle in, find its way to a nice comfortable position. And then if it feels good to do so, close your eyes down. Start by tuning in down to your feet. Give your toes a little wiggle. Spread your toes. Let your feet find a nice soft landing. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Invite a little gentle movement into your fingers and toes. And as you move your fingers and toes, see if you can tune in and notice any sense of movement in the backside of your body. So you're moving your fingers, you're moving your toes, but can you feel any gentle movement connected to the chair that you're sitting in? Nice. And then from here, let your fingers and toes relax, lift your back away from your seat, sit up nice and tall. And then if it feels good, just scoot your butt forward so that your butt is in the center of your chair, feet firm on the ground, and a nice tall uplifted spine. Eyes opened or closed. Again, this is totally up to you, just whatever works better for you. But we're going to take our eyeballs and draw them in circles again. So with the head in a neutral position, start to circle your eyes around. Whether your eyes are closed or open, that's totally up to you. But once you feel like you've got that movement down, how smooth can you make your circles go? Take one more circle around in this direction and then go the other way. Eyes opened or closed, that's totally up to you. But how smooth can you get those circles to go? One more circle around. And then just for a moment, let your eyes find that neutral position. If your eyes were open, maybe just take a second to blink them. And then we're going to turn our head looking over the left shoulder. So you're going to turn your head like you're looking over your left shoulder, but now turn your eyes and look your eyes to the right. Keep your shoulders soft and down. Look your eyes as far to the right as you can. You might feel your eyes water up just a little bit or get a little stingy. So try to hold that position. See if you can hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blink your eyes, relax your eyes, return your head to center, shrug out your shoulders, take a second. And then we're going to do that to the other side. So you're going to turn your head, look over the right shoulder. And then once you've got your head turned in position, look your eyes to the left. Hold your eyes in that position, eyes open if you can. So you might feel a little bit of stinging or wateriness in the eyes. Hold that position for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release your eyes, return your head back to center, shrug out your shoulders, make sure everything feels a little loosened up. And then once you feel like you've loosened up your shoulders, stack your hands on top of your heart, eyes closed or open, totally up to you. Take a nice deep breath in, breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and the time that you take to take care of yourself. And breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. And when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Wednesday.